Hey YouTube, it's Bill from Little White Dory, and we just got back home from a trip upstate New York to take a look at a horse farm. And we made an offer, gave him a deposit. We understand that the seller is going to take it, and if all goes well, hopefully we'll be on the property beginning of June. I don't know exactly when it'll be, but it will be the beginning part of June. And I'm just coming out to the car to get some junk to bring in the house. As you can see, it has rained here. You can see it's kind of wet everywhere. This is the little lake that forms in the back. I talked to people about, we have problems with drainage here on Long Island. So this is probably the result of about a half an inch of rain. I hope you can see it. It's not that big. And I'd venture to say in a half an hour it'll all be gone. We're just one big sandbar out here. And with that goes the water. So I'm happy to report, and I'm going to put some clips together for a video with some scenes from this horse farm. We left the chickens in the coop overnight. I think about it and I think, gosh, these chickens are spoiled. Every now and then I keep them in this cage section, and they'll stay in here for, say, 24 hours. They have no idea that there are chickens in this world that never leave a container this big or a cage this big. They spend their life in there. Happily, I might add. So these girls are kind of on the spoiled side, aren't you, girls? So everything went well with the inspections. All the electrical looked good. I had a company come and test the well. And we are definitely pulling better than 15 gallons a minute. And the recharge was almost instantly. Probably, well, in the well we dropped only 15 feet after an hour's worth of pumping. And after an hour's worth of pumping, dropping 15 feet, it was back up to where it started within 15 minutes. So we've got a good well. Now the quality of the water will be tested by the well company, and they'll report back to me probably 2 days. But the tech said that he feels like the water here should be no problem. It's generally speaking a good water. He said there was a decent amount of iron in it. He thought that was a good thing. I suppose if you have white porcelain sinks, it might not if you have a leak. But otherwise, I suppose a little iron in the water is not a bad thing. We walked the perimeter. We were able to find all the pins from the survey. We were able to evaluate the double fencing. It's not double fenced everywhere, but a lot of it is double fenced. The land is considered to be moderately well draining, and we walked a big portion of it, but it had rained a lot on Friday and Saturday and a little bit on Sunday. It was a sunny day today up there. Of course, here it's raining, and it's been, I think, raining quite a bit today. And everything looked pretty good. I mean, there was some puddling, and there's some contour that will flood. But I think the trick is that if you're not going to have horses out there, you could conceivably take well, I don't know, maybe a yeoman's plow might even do it, just to channel some of that water away from the area that you don't want it. And if not, I suppose you could probably use a little, like a very shallow backhoe, and just carve out a path for the water to drain off the property. There is about a 1/5 shoreline on a pond. Not a very big pond, but it's a spring-fed pond. Looked nice and clean, lots of life in it. And so I have access to that from the property. I suppose that's good if you ever needed water more so than what you get out of a well, that the well seems really good. The well is only about 500 feet away from this spring-fed pond, so the presumption is that it's got a good source of water in that area. What else? I'll show pictures, and I'll add some comments if I can get some text in there. And otherwise, it looks like it's a go. It looks like we're going to buy the farm, a horse farm no less. And we'll look into what, if anything, I can do or want to do with the aspects of the balance of the farm that I won't be using for gardening, but that it will potentially still be a viable income for boarding horses, of which I know nothing about. So I'll learn, I'll figure something out. Maybe I can find somebody that in exchange for teaching me can board a horse there, or something to that effect. The RV hookups are kind of nice. There are 3 full-service RV sites there. There's a pull-through driveway for loading and unloading horses onto a loading dock, so that you can get them into tractor-trailer size trailers for horse transport. So it's got a lot of features that I guess a lot of people would not have on a regular farm. The barn, it smells like a horse barn, but only 4 out of the 6 stalls are being used or have been used. 2 of them are just for storage, and there's maybe it's about 800 square feet of living space. I don't have too much in the way of pictures of that because somebody's still currently living in it. But I have the pictures from the realtor. I can probably punch them into a video. Alrighty folks, we'll show you some. Give us a feedback. If you like the video, hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And by all means, if you know anything about horse farms, give me a holler. Give me a comment. Alrighty folks, bye-bye. Actually a pretty beautiful day today. Yeah, there was a pile of stone there. I don't know that she moved it yesterday, but it's been moved recently. Relatively recently groomed. I don't believe it was this nice when I was here last. There's a gate over there, and then there's the gate over here. And this is the massive amount of trees that we have on the property. I don't know why nobody planted anything else, except maybe they just didn't want to deal with deer eating things. Who knows? There goes the, I think it's CSX trains. What time is it? Do you know? So this is one area that I was thinking would be one of the first places I might try cultivating. It may be a little on the hard pack, but its proximity to the barn and its size kind of has me thinking, all right, this might be a good spot. I'm walking on it. It's much more firm. It's got compacted, but it's much more firm than most of the rest of the pasture I walked on today. This is a pile of horse manure and hay that I've asked the seller to get rid of. Mostly because I don't know what's in it. Don't want to know what's in it. I don't necessarily want it either. So my thinking is that maybe in this area here is where I can start doing my stuff and retaining the rest of this for horse pasture and maybe board some horses. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that you don't know until you know. But this area has apparently been being used as the pile of manure for many years. It shows up in satellite views going back to 2001. And I don't know that it's draining better or if it's just compacted, but it's much less wet here and overall. I mean, I do see a little water over that way. But again, we did have rain recently. It looks to me as if the tractor has been around this area. Probably cut this, or possibly cut this, I'm not sure. Looks just slightly different than the rest. Gotta get around and take a look at this little shed here. I guess they do have some electric on an extension cord, it looks like. It's quite the electrical system. Maybe to put the light on in there, and I think that runs to a point outside the barn. I don't know how much of the wind noise is being picked up, but I'm just going to go with it because I don't have much option. This is apparently the tractor that's used by the owner to maintain the property. Nice little Kubota B7500 with a little front end loader and a wood brush bowl. Not exactly what I would call a finish cutter, but I guess it would knock down whatever she needs knocked down. And there's the other end of your high-tech electric connections. Hopefully that doesn't have a problem. So we've got a roller. Looks like a post spreader. Grass cutter. There we go. There's the grass cutter with a catcher. So again, we have another post that marks the edge of the property. This is now probably along the edge of the pond. I believe it goes straight to the road and it cuts a small section of the pond. So we'll just come up here. Some more marks here, sort of. I don't know what that is actually. And there's some access to the pond. If I can clear that out, it would be a good fishing hole. Don't know what's in it, but I'd be happy to try to find out.
Maybe the one deep over there.
Maybe.
Pond view, horse.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there's one in, the first door on the left. There's 2 ponies. There's your friend Judy.
Nice breeze. Hope that stays all summer. So I think that this is the northwestern corner, this pin here. I'm hoping it'll have the same name on it or some indication. We'll see. PC. Don't know what PC stands for unless it's the initials of this guy who put it in. PC.
What was Hector's last name?
No.
What's his last name?
PC?
Partridge and
What was his name?
Gus?
Hector. Maybe, that could be it. So it's possible that from here, this line goes straight out and it clips the pond. It means you have access to the pond for anything you want to have access to the pond, I guess. Which would be kind of cool. I don't know if it's a straight line. I'm going to guess that it should be. And then it heads over in this direction to there. So there's some standing water here. We had some rain the past 2-3 days. Today it didn't rain, and only probably a little yesterday. But this is now coming in the direction from the pond, which is supposed to be a spring-fed pond. So my feeling is that this is probably fairly wet more often than it's not, just from the pond in the spring that feeds it. But if I look down here, you can see that there's actually a flow of water coming out. And it's not really puddling, but it's, you know, it's accumulating a little bit over here. From the satellite views, you can see where it sort of goes out into the pasture this way. Might not be so easy to see here, but there's a little bit of a contour to the ground where it keeps it funneling toward a channel and heading out. And try to, when I say try to walk on grass, try to like kick grass down sideways that way. And now we're back to less wet property. And as I see now, there's another pin with a nice pink marker on it. It's right where you'd want it to be. Right here, and looking down the line that way, it looks pretty good. And then from here, I look down the line this way. Looks real good.